Hey folks, it's day 29, Nofap. Have not relapsed. I was gone for a few days. Just got busy with other stuff, and I didn't really have much to talk about. I was just gonna probably reiterate stuff I've been talking about forever. And as well, I found out that 24/7 Betterman B did not relapse, which I'm really happy that he didn't. So a lot of stuff I was gonna say was kind of irrelevant. But anyways, I filled out an application for a engineering internship, biomedical engineering internship, specifically at this startup in the San Francisco area. And having gone over their list of desired qualifications or whatever expertise and all that, I decided to try and teach myself some of it's called OnShape. It's this Google Docs version of AutoCAD. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Maybe I'm repeating myself, but said record this video a couple times. But anyways, I stayed up and went through a couple tutorials on that. I'm gonna go through a few more today. Try to learn some more and get that under my belt so that I can put that on my resume in the future. And if they interview me, I can mention that that I've studied, that I've taught myself that, and maybe I can have some projects done that I can put together along with anything I can write in Python, which is another thing I'm going to try to teach myself, specifically for scripting, testing automation, that sort of thing. But as far as NoFap is concerned, kind of jump into that before I get cut off again. um, I wanted to make the title of this video revisiting the why, or revisiting your whys, your reasons for NoFap, because as as I go on in this journey, and I've noticed this in the past, my reasons for continuing have changed, and they've essentially because they've had to change. When I start off on these, after having relapsed and binged, you have that hitting rock bottom experience. You feel that visceral pain, emotionally, even physically, in my case, and you don't really have to question yourself as to why am I doing this? Why am I gonna not look at porn and jerk off and all that kind of stuff? Why am I gonna go and use my time for other things? Why am I gonna go and get into that exercise routine and read those books, or you know get out there and socialize, or what have you? Um, you don't really gotta question that kind of your intent, because you have the memory. You can feel it in your bones, so to speak, as to why you're going in this direction. But as you get further on and further on, you tend to kind of start to forget it. At least with in my experience, that you start to forget it because you return to normality. You return to slowly, bit by bit by bit, degree by degree by degree, turning to face life head on. And you know the reasons why why you really got into PMO start to become more and more evident to you. It's not that it's just a habit, or it's just life, or it's just it's what I do. It becomes clear why you even got into to begin with. And you really gotta really maintain that awareness and develop it further. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the reasons why I'm still staying on this journey is that I feel that as I get further on, I feel more authentic, for one thing, because I'm one of those waiting until marriage, no sex outside of marriage types of people. And I've always hated, even as much as I've somehow gotten some sick and twisted pleasure out of it, I've hated that feeling of being the hypocrite, being the person who in public will say I'm against sex outside of marriage, I'm against all these perversions and whatnot, and then there I am, in my room or in the bathroom or wherever, in some isolated spot where nobody's around, looking at this stuff and getting gleeful pleasure out of it, even though at the same time it's kind of like in my head I'm screaming, no, no, what the heck are you doing? You go and tell people that you're against this stuff, or you present yourself as being this clean cut guy, and look at you behind closed doors. And I feel the guilt and the shame and the that fear, that kind of fear of like what I'm feeling right now, that kind of that anxiety, of being caught in the act of being being outed, as someone who's actually, perverted in my mind. I feel that melting away, and I like that feeling of freedom from that, I like the freedom that I get from desire, which isn't to say that my lust goes completely away, because obviously, if I see an attractive woman, I'm gonna feel desire for her, assuming that, all those nasty, disgusting, unnatural fetishes aren't attached to the attraction to her. I'm saying? Just, a random girl who's attractive, I'm going to feel attracted to her to some extent, Maybe not in a lustful, crazy, psychotic sense that, you get if you're, you know, all wrapped up in some sort of sex addiction, but like PMO addiction. But, anyways, that feeling of authenticity and freedom from the, uh, the guilt and anxiety associated with hypocrisy. That's one of the main reasons why I'm sticking on this path. Another reason is that the more and more time I put in to bettering my life and not, feeding the PMO addiction or the PMO habit, the better my life gets and the better I feel. That's another reason, which makes it, makes me not want to go back to it, you know. Now, the challenges I'm facing as I get further into this are the fact that, it's kind of like I've gone to the new country, leading my army, so to speak, forward, which is, my my spiritual army of sorts, metaphorically speaking, and I've gone to this new country and I'm going to conquer it. I'm the general, I'm leading the army, and I've ordered all the ships to be burnt, and there's no way we're going back. This is it. And that can be a kind of intensive feeling, as much as it is motivating. It can be kind of overwhelming to some extent, which is why I got to gradually phase my way into it day by day, not just dive in and say, this is it. I'm never gonna face these kind of challenges ever again. I'm going forward, and that's it. Um, I've really got to take that day by day, but that's kind of one of the challenges I'm facing, because it's like life's gonna be up, life's gonna be down, life can be even sideways at times, and to say no to my main coping mechanism, my coping habit, and trying to develop other strategies just to face things, and just, instead of running away from the challenge, just overcoming it right then and there, not having to do a redo, not having to hide from it. Um, that's a big, big challenge for me. But for the rest of you out there who are making progress in your journey, even if you're not, if you're relapsing, um, ask yourself why, you know, and you got to do that, you know, maybe not every single day, but at least occasionally along the way, so that you can, check yourself and make sure that if those deep dark moments come where you're in the fear of relapsing, why not to relapse. Top of having your routine in place for if you are in danger, what to do, cold showers or whatever it may be. But anyways, I'm coming up on 8.5 minutes, and I'm gonna stop recording and then upload this just so I can get something done and get a video up for you guys. And thanks, and good luck on your journeys. Bye.